How are you?
What's up?
What's happening?
How you doing?
What's up, Greg? Are you in Hawaii?
Yeah, I don't know how to work this thing, so
I like it though, it's nice. So I always do everybody else's backgrounds. So it's like, got you guys one. Do you know if anybody else is joining us? Is it just you two?
Yeah, they should be. Amazing.
Sorry. If I keep muting it's because I've still got the cough from the COVID, so I'm a bit like so. But yeah, we'll give them a few more minutes yet. Oh, there's another one, Charles.
I got it.
I'm an idiot. I put it on the wrong view again. Oh, there's another one. Got another one for you, Charles.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yep.
can hear
Can you see me?
you.
What's up, guys?
happening. I see Bill too now.
Greg, you didn't even know how to use it, and now you have like the background of like Nepal.
I think it just took something off my phone because I tried to go on my computer and I don't know how to do that. So I think it just took something off my phone and made it my background.
Yeah, you're the one. You're like, I don't even know how to work this.
I don't.
It could have been worse. It could have been something really inappropriate.
Yeah, that'd be. I can only imagine. No, it's either gonna be a picture of that or a dog or like a stupid car thing that I have. So it can't be anything that embarrassing.
Look tropical where you are, Greg.
I think that might be Maine. I think. I don't know for sure though.
Really nice though. It'd be
Now,
nice.
we do not have video from Matt, just so you know.
Oh, okay. No problem. Oh. Another one.
Looks like Matt's coming in again.
Here he goes.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
Love
Yeah.
the Star Wars gear. I just finished Mandalorian like 5 seconds ago.
We got everyone? Have we got everyone? I forgot how many people we're supposed to be having today. I'm waiting on somebody else, but we can start without her. So our other host, Jess, and she's not here yet. But the other person here is Charles, and he's tech support and other co-host.
Yep.
I don't know today.
We've got a jam show coming in. I'm guessing as a fan, probably.
Wow.
Oh, it actually is Jess. Okay, there we go.
Sweet.
Oh, is that? It
We've
is.
got Anna B coming in.
Damn show.
Okay. I can hear you. I'm back. What's up, dudes?
So,
All right.
And that's our other host, Jessica. She's just popped in.
Hey, Jessica.
hello.
Oh, you're unmuted, babe.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. It should be. Can you guys hear me? Good.
Just.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
Greg, you walking around the streets of Maine there?
Yeah, man. Just had to stretch the legs. I've been cooped up outside all day.
That's all. Who was it that reached out to me on Instagram? Who was that? I don't actually know who it was.
That was me.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, I should have asked the name. I was like, probably should have asked that at some point. But oh well. But no, thank you for reaching out to me though. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. We've done a few of these now, so we're getting there. We've still got technical issues, but we're getting there. So if there's any point where we're just sort of sat there, it means that somebody's forgot what they're doing. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Do you want to introduce yourselves and what you do in the band?
Go ahead. Oldest to youngest.
All right, my name's Greg. I play bass and do vocals.
My name is Matt. I do guitar. I also do some vocals.
My name is Brian. I do the drums and sometimes vocals.
I'm Bill. I do guitar and even less vocals.
Thank you, guys.
This is true.
Can you tell us a little bit about the band history as well, like how you met, how long you've been together, and just all that fun stuff?
Sure. I'll start. We started pretty young. Me and Brian are actually related. We are cousins. So we hung out a lot when we were younger, got into some music. We also knew Greg since we were very young. I'm talking grammar school young. We just got together. It started kind of more funny and then got more serious as we got better. We met Bill in high school. He was actually in my brother's band. My brother and Bill had a band for a while. We played a bunch of shows with us. Here we are.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm the new member. I've been in the band for 14 years.
Have been together as that?
He still gets picked on. But how are you guys doing? What's up with you? What's your background story?
Oh dear, you don't want to know. Charles get roped into all of my nonsense, basically. That's and this is all accidental.
So
Yeah.
we all live all over the place. We've actually all three of us have never met in person.
No way.
Wow.
Now you've got Jessica, who's in San Diego, and Charles, who's same state as you guys. I forgot where he's from.
I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. I'm actually in Wheaton.
Oh, no way.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, neighbor.
Greetings.
Oh, yeah.
Heidi ho.
Yeah, when Scottie told me about you guys, I'm like, oh, hey, they're next door. Fantastic. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of spread out throughout Chicagoland.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Charles has got some like questions that are about like where you're from and stuff. I was like, well, I don't know because I'm in the UK, so I ain't got a clue. I've never been. I'd like to go, but I've never been.
Yes,
it's fun to bring Scottie over.
Just come in the summer, not in the winter.
You're better off going to San Diego.
That's in the works, actually. Yes.
For sure.
Jess's garden, they're like, we're coming to your house, which is cool. So we're crashing our wedding next year.
Oh.
So yeah, no, she's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I was just wondering, like, what kind of what music are you into? Like, what sort of music influences your band?
Someone else can take it.
I mean, I guess for me, I mean, I grew up being like just a straight punk rock kid, but as I get older, I don't think you can just listen to one type of music and just make that the only thing that influences you. I grew up with my parents' old rock and roll records, and then high school came and punk rock came, and that's all I was about. And then, just listening to something that catches your ear and you just go down the wormhole of listening to that band and then reading the liner notes of that band and finding other bands. I just don't think you can just listen to one type of music and think that that's your sound, no matter what you play, whether it be punk rock or rock and roll or folk. I think whatever you've heard in your life that contributes to something that you create.
I think we all listen to like pretty much everything when it comes to music. I remember me and Brian used to like do a joke, when Greg would drive to the shows when we were, a little younger, and before we got in the car, like, I wonder what kind of mood Greg is in. We'll tell by the music he's listening to. Like, if it's super, we're like, oh no, he's mad. But yeah, we always listen to, like, for me personally, like everything that has like a band feel, I'll listen to.
Too true.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got any like? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Like I said,
I heard somewhere that you guys really like the band Thrice. Like that was a big influence for you guys. Do you guys still listen? Is that still something you pop into on your Spotify playlist every once in a while?
Oh, probably at least once a week for me, at least. I find it harder now to listen to like newer music because there's so much music out there that I find like Spotify just makes my 1 through 6 playlists, and that's just a go-to for me, like just to make it through the day. I'm like, cool. And then, at work, that song will come on that I listened to 20 years ago or 15 years ago. I'll go, oh man, I remember that day. I remember when I heard that song. It just brings back your youth and like what made you really like that. And then just seeing how a band like that has evolved and what they create now is just, completely different than what you first heard, but it still brings back that memory that, you can forget things, people's names, what time you're supposed to be somewhere, but when that song comes in your head or you hear that note, that automatically comes back in your head, and I think you just remember everything about that time.
Oh yeah, it's like that time you put on that song and you're like, oh, I remember that car. I remember who was in the car with me. I remember where we were going. And it sits you right back in that situation, or where you were at school, who you were hanging out with, and what you were doing. Yeah, there's like a
Music
soundtrack
is like
to your
some
life.
sort of time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica, I think they still like Thrice. I mean, Brian's got it on his friggin' sleeve right there. For crying out loud. Yeah.
This is a non-paid endorsement.
Wait, switch to
shout out.
It's all non-paid at the minute.
Yeah, we all agree on Thrice, that's for sure. But like they were saying, we're all influenced from a lot of different ways. So I mean, you could hear we have only a 4-song EP out right now, and all 4 songs they're the same, but they're also pretty different. I would categorize them all differently if I had to, but luckily I don't.
But when we were writing the 4 and wondering what songs to record, like we had to be like, how would this one fit? Like there's some other songs that we wrote, like we don't really have names for our songs, but it was funny, like we wrote one song that was like super punky, like hardcore, and we're like, wait, we can't really record this one. It doesn't sound like anything else.
Sometimes that's
Yeah.
the best.
And just not add it to your album. There's songs like that where you're like, we just want to record it because it sounds cool, but we're not sure if it fits in with what our band's doing.
We have lots of those.
Yeah. I think when the writing stuff that we write, and then when we're trying, like to make an EP, we try to make everything kind of either like all blend together or kind of have aspects of the other songs, so it's not. Well, I mean, I guess you can do it both ways. This one is kind of more of like they all kind of go together, but also like kind of like listening to bands that like you hear like that first, like, you hear that nice like soothing song, and then it's just complete chaos, and then it goes through that whole wave of intensity and like super like mellow. Like I think that's also like a big like catcher for me, but I understand like of how I guess music works that people listen to. They want everything to kind of just be on an even plane that sounds exactly like that song, or sounds like that band. Like that band has to sound the same all the time, or either people hate it or they love it. Like they don't really grow out of that. It'd be like if I don't even know if Thrice just wrote Identity Crisis for 20 years. Like either people would be like, good, that's awesome, like that they're the same band, or like when they came out with whatever Beggars, and it was completely different, and people either hated it or they're like, okay, like they're stepping out of like that melodic punk rock state to kind of go into this more rock and roll thing. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's what you prefer to listen to, and how, I guess, much you can expand your brain to listen to other things besides the things that you know.
Greg's gonna rap on this next album for sure.
it'll just be a spoken word tracks. That's it.
We're gonna get a cover of Rap God by Eminem.
SLT goes slam poetry. There we go. Yeah.
A little bit of reggae.
It'll just be like a diss tape, like a mixtape, but it's just a diss like Eminem and whoever else. Or like 50 Cent, or like Jay-Z and Nas mixtape that was just a beef album. Like those are great.
There's one of the songs we have in the works now. Like we finished it, and Greg like goes, "What the hell is that song? Like, what is that?"
That's pretty funny.
But like, I think
But we'll see how this next one turns out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I say, does it for artists? Does it kind of put you in a weird position if you have a certain sound that your fans are used to, and if they say, "Oh, why don't you come up with something new?" But then you come up with something new, and they're like, "Oh, but that doesn't sound like the old one." Like, there's that balance of like creating new music, like a different sound for you guys as artists, but then the fans are like, "No, we want what we're totally used to the whole time." Like, there's that. That's always like, I feel like there's always that pull, and with what you guys want to do and what the fans want. Do you ever feel like you have to do songs that more of what your fans want, or do you just do what you guys want to do?
Almost feel like you're satisfying two masters in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just do what we want. Not like whatever we want, but we do what we feel feels good to us, feels good to our ear. We don't really try to fit into anything. We'll make something, and if it sounds awesome, keep it. If it doesn't, we try to change it until it does sound awesome, or we toss it.
Yeah, just sort of stay true to who you guys are.
I think like mostly I think with like vocally, like we kind of have a thing that we all like really like, that for like 3 or 4 vocals going on everything. I think that's worked very well for us. I think we have good enough voices to make it sound somewhat decent, I guess. And then musically, I think we just do whatever everyone feels. I heard Matt and Brian talking about it before. Like, there's never really, there's not one person who's writing everything. Someone will have a riff, and then or they'll create a song, and we kind of just brainstorm off of that, cut and paste, extend a part, get rid of a part, keep it on the back burner for either later in that song or a completely different song. But it's like we work very well together, where we all kind of have things to say, and we kind of all have an idea of the song, but we don't really know what that big idea is yet until we all kind of bounce those things off of each other, and then it just steamrolls at one point, and it becomes a finished product. And then after we listen to it for a month, and then we go back, and then we just dissect it again and say, "Man, we should have done this."
There's so many songs we think are done, and they've like just been dissected into a completely different song. Or they're like, actually, this part works better for this song. Let's just scrap that.
Yeah, I always find it's quite interesting when you see bands, like how when you see their demos and you see where it's sort of like the idea and then the finished sort of product, like you go from like the basic like sort of the whole thing, like the vocals, the music, and then you see the full like finished, fully produced track, and it's like, that's quite impressive, like to see. And it'd be lovely to actually sit down and watch somebody actually go from its infancy to like the actual track, you know what I mean? Especially like bands that are like massive productions and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to watch that.
Absolutely. It gets so random at practice that before we name our songs, we'll go through the set list. We don't really know what to call them. So one song will be called "Let's Play the Poppy Song," and then "Let's Play the More Hardcore Song," and that's how we label them before. So we literally have 2 different genres in our labels when we're practicing. But in the end, they all meet in the middle, kind of. They all relate. So
yeah, like the one song we have, Dredge, like we named it Dredge. We're like, this kind of sounds like a Dredge song. So we didn't even know what to name it. So we're like, what are we gonna name it? Like, well, Dredge kind of like is a real word, so we can just name it that way.
Sure is. We checked in the dictionary. It's real.
Yeah, that's actually true because what you say, you see some bands and you're like, you look at the song and you're like, how the hell did you come up with that title for that song? What the hell were you thinking? Like, really interesting. Like, I mean, you don't actually ever find that. Usually, it's not something that you usually get told. Really, that's not something, you know, that they will sit down and go track by track and go, we named this because blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, even now that they have real names, we don't call them by the real names. We're like, play song 1.
Yeah, because no one knows what the real names are because they're a year of making fake names, and that's just how it stays.
That's the last thing that's like, I feel like that's the last thing we do in the process.
Yeah, like the music gets written, we write the lyrics, and then when it's time to go record, like we record and they go, well, what should we call that song? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess we have to figure that out in the next 2 weeks since we're gonna put it out. Like, figure out a name for it.
So yeah. Have you got like, plans going forward, like where you actually like? So obviously taking the whole like, pandemic thing out of the equation, did you have like plans what you were going to do? Because obviously, like you said, you've not got much on your YouTube channel yet. Do you know what your sort of next moves are?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, we were just gonna play shows. We have some lined up that we kind of had to put to the side because of the pandemic. You know, and then just do as many shows as we can and start writing again. We already started writing more music to record again, so hopefully we can get to do that soon, and then just keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the next question actually. It was like, you know, what have you been doing apart from like obviously with the COVID thing, like what have you been doing like to keep yourselves going, if that makes sense? So yeah, just like trying to write and things like that. Yeah.
We still practice twice a month, but we pretty much just send riffs to each other like on the WhatsApp, and then people are just writing their parts that way. So when we do meet, we have sort of an idea of what we've done.
Is that another endorsement there I heard?
Yeah, actually, I just got off the WhatsApp. We're gonna get a couple bucks for that.
Sweet.
Yeah. Somebody called
yeah, that
songs are hot.
we try to. I mean, it's pretty random. We all come up with riffs. We all send them to each other, but in the end, when we get together, that's when we try to cut and paste, like Greg was saying before, put them together.
And what is like your sort of interests like outside of music? Like, do you have like any other sort of like hobbies and things outside of obviously all your music and things like that? Is there anything else that you guys do inside?
Yes.
I think now with everything happening, I mean, there's really not much like available to do. So I mean, for me, like I work, and then it's just been nice like to go like when the pandemic first started, like to go outside more than you usually do, and there used to be no one outside, and now everyone's outside because you can't go anywhere. So like walk around my neighborhood or like walk in like the forest preserve, and there's more people there than I've seen because now everyone has nothing else to do. You can't go sit your ass at a bar and drink all day, so you have to go find something to do. I mean, I think, you know, music, books, TV, just the world right now of listening of what's happening with, you know, either presidencies and this pandemic, it breeds a lot of good information to analyze your life and write lyrics and write songs about things that are really happening in the world instead of, you know.
Insight, Greg, insight.
Gotcha. That's why the record's called that. See, you learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
I mean, for me, I'm a teacher, so trying to figure out how to teach kids on Zoom has been something to figure out. And I got the younger kiddos, so like it's pretty funny. Like every day I have this one kid who'll be like, "Hey, you want to see a magic trick?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." It's like 3, 2, 1, and then they log off, and I never see them again. Like I was like, I don't know what to do. Like they're just gone off Zoom. Like, what do I do? Or like they just get up and leave, and I feel like I'm talking to just blank screens. I feel like
That's all right. My kid does the Zoom like this. That's all you can see.
Oh, there's one kid I haven't seen his face yet. I just see forehead.
Yeah. There's like oh hi, I'm ready for class. And I'm like, your teacher wants to see your pretty face. He's like, nope, down here.
Oh yeah, I have a kid every day. I'm like, all right, take out your book, and I'll be like this. And they're like, what are you gonna do? I was like, you're right, nothing. I can't do anything.
Oh man, you're just stuck.
Aren't kids great?
Yeah, I actually don't get to get extra hobbies because of kids. I have a handful of small ones, 4 of them. But so yeah, the extra time goes to them, and then obviously any extra after hours time when they're sleeping usually goes towards guitar.
Yeah, I know that's like mine are all upstairs at the minute. I'm like,
Work to-do list. I have always something to do.
Scottie's got a football team over there.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
Nice.
got 8 kids.
I've got 8.
Wow.
Oh.
My eldest is 21. He's a musician as well, so
Cool.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, speaking of the devil, here's one of them now. Sorry,
How
maybe popped in. Your host pops in.
How was Thanksgiving around your place?
Celebrate it in the UK, but I can tell you at Christmas dinner, it's noisy and there's a lot of food and there's somebody without fail, somebody's crying. Without fail. Usually me, to be honest. It's like,
Sounds like a holiday.
Rin, your timing is perfect. We're just now talking about kids. Your timing could not have been better. Yeah.
Hi, babe. So she comes in. There she is. Hi, Annie. She always comes on all the Zooms that I do. She's a sweetheart.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys actually do outside of music? Because I'm assuming it's not like a full-time thing.
Yeah, we called it Bill's a teacher.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fitness instructor.
Oh, wow.
I do sales. I do radio sales.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanic. I own a small automotive business here in Chicago area. So working on cars.
Yeah.
That sounds like.
Yep.
I took auto shop in high school.
I didn't know that about you.
Oh yeah, that's why Sam and I we watch a lot of car racing. We watch F1 racing. Very car happy family over here.
Yeah, Greg.
It's fun. It's fun until you work on them all day long. Then you don't want to see a car. You go, I don't want to see any cars anymore.
Greg, my car broke. Fix it.
There's so many band practices where it's like, here's the keys, Greg. Fix my car.
Yeah, that comes in handy though, because it's just like, because I know what I'm like. I ain't got a clue if something's broken. I'm just like, I'll run it into the ground. I don't care. I'm terrible. I'm really bad. So, and I'm not very good at driving, to be honest. Hence why I don't have a license yet.
That's great.
I've about killed my kids in their pushchairs, to be honest. So I think it's probably a good thing that I don't drive. So if you could have anybody, let's get into the sort of good fun ones. If you could have anybody with you in your next writing session, who would it be and why? Oh, I'm seeing some faces like.
That's
a hard one.
Anybody at all, can be from any band or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man.
I mean, if
clearly
it could be for either. There could be a certain musician, whether it be someone writing either a lyricist person or a guitar player or like a drummer. Like I could plug in probably 25 different people that I would want to just incorporate anything musically for anything that we would do. But I don't think I could pick just one. There's just too many people that I think are influential to me in different ways for either songwriting or musically what they do or what they do outside of music. So I don't think I could pick just one person.
Comments coming in from chat from Anna. She's saying Dustin.
thrice.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yes. Some of the guys I would pick are dead. Or
We'll have a seance so that you could, have your writing room.
but yeah. I would say Dustin would probably have to be a universal vote. We'll throw some maybe.
If it wasn't Dustin, it would have to be someone kind of out of the box, like that could give a different point of view on our music. Like off the top of my head, I could probably pick Anderson .Paak. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's kind of like a jazzy hip hop artist, and someone like that to bring a different point of view or a different sound, a different look at our music. That would probably be pretty cool, pretty helpful, pretty cool.
Kind of like a Thundercat. There's that bass, jazzy, hip hop and stuff.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Zach De La Rocha or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I don't know who else. Yeah, there's just too many.
Probably another guy, BJ Heredia. He'd be a pretty good one to have over there.
Yeah, he's a good guitar player, I heard.
Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He sure is. BJ. Canada. So
Scottie, do you want the next few questions, or do you want me to help?
Yeah,
you
yeah, couple.
Sure.
I hogged it.
Let's see. I think I read somewhere you guys pointed out that the hardest thing for indie bands at the moment is getting new listeners. How do you guys discover new music, and have you guys discovered any bands recently that are worth a listen?
No, kind of like how what Greg said earlier. You listen to so much good music when you're younger, you kind of get stuck with it, and it's really hard to branch out because you're so comfortable listening to that. So kind of stick with what we know a little bit.
So me and Bill kind of traded bands probably about a year ago. He showed me a band called Biffy Clyro I've never heard of before that's been around a while, which I do like, and I showed him a band called Murder by Death. We both like them now.
Yeah.
So that's the newest update I've gotten recently.
Oh, Biffy Clyro, sorry. I about squealed when you said that. I was like, oh, I love them so much. They're actually from where I'm from in Scotland, so we frequent the same areas and stuff. I've been trying to get hold of them, do you want to do anything? But not heard anything yet. But they're such funny guys. They're really lovely people.
I've gotten to see them live in Chicago 4 times, and each time is less than 100 people, which is sweet.
Oh, so that's where you want to go to see Biffy, because if you watch them in Scotland, it's chaos because obviously they're Scottish band, and I wish I'd worn my Biffy Clyro t-shirt. It says Biffy fucking Clyro on it.
It's funny. I saw him at a venue by Brian's house.
Yeah.
And there was literally 30 people.
That's where I need to see them then. That is where you need to see them. So I'll have to time it right when they're touring again and check them out. They've been doing quite a lot of stuff on YouTube recently, so how a lot of musicians have been doing it sessions at home and stuff like that. That's been quite good to watch as well. So, and he answers questions from people, so it's really quite cool to watch. Sorry.
They're great live. They're really good live. I've seen those. They're good. But actually, Bill sends them to me. So, but you know what, Greg? I would have to say Greg is probably he's been in the music scene. He always has known the most bands. So I would ask him this question. Who do you know, Greg? Newest band?
I mean, I don't even have a newest band. I listened to all the old stuff that when I was younger. I listened to the National a lot, which is now I guess they gotten bigger since. I don't even know, but my wife turned me on to them, and I didn't like it at first. I was like, I'm not into this, but that's a go back to me. Those guys who are in that band that I believe Aaron and Bryce Drescher, I believe their names are. They're twins, and both those guys work and do stuff for Taylor Swift now and a lot of hip hop bands, and they also do stuff with Big Red Machine with Michael Stipe. they're both very, very talented guitar players, and that band is amazing to see live. I've seen them a bunch of times in Illinois and Wisconsin and surrounding states that I traveled to go see them, and I think they're awesome every time I see them. But that's a band that I always go back to, and that's a one of like time to chill out, stop listening to the screaming and the headbanging music, and just listen to that and relax. So that's usually what I go to.
I felt like it was for a lot of indie bands. I think a lot of their exposure to new listeners came from touring with other bands and being like opening acts and stuff. I know I discovered a lot of bands just being like, oh, that opening act was really sick, you know, write that down, make sure I remember that band. And it's got to be really hard for this past year when you're coming up with new music, but you can't get out there to see people and, you know, show them, you know, expose them to your new music. So I guess using to learn the internet and Spotify and getting your music out there that way. That's kind of the new wave of getting new listeners.
The guy who recorded us went to high school with us too, for this last 4-song EP. And every once in a while I'll ask him like who he's recording, and I'll check out like a band that he's checking out. There's this one band, Last Fantastic Nasty. I was like, oh my God, this band's fucking awesome. Like, who is this? And he's like, yeah, they recorded and they broke up like immediately after. I'm like, oh, send me the YouTube link, and they're like the coolest band. But so yeah, it's super hard. You know, like it's funny. Like every day we'll send us like links. We're like, yeah, dude, we got like 100 more views.
100 views. Woohoo!
I think it's also very hard. You can put out music. You know, you can put out music all you want, and then if you know you hear a band and then you go see that band, and that band either sounds like shit, or that band is just super boring, where you can tell like they don't really care about what they're really playing. They're just there for whatever, the beer or the groupies, or to say you're in a band or whatever. I know people who are like that. I know bands who are like that. I think everyone does. I think that's to me that's like a big turnoff of seeing a band or to be in a band, is just because to say that you're in a band and then you know you don't care, or you're just doing it to go, you know, out on a Friday night to get fucked up is, you know, I mean, I enjoy that, but still at the same point, like that's not what I do it for. Like, and when you see it, when you go see a band and that band is lackluster, or you should see like there's no energy for it. Like, I mean, we've played together for a long time. I play in another band that, you know, if there's 2 people there or there's 200 people there, like the same energy has to come out of the band. I feel like, you know, I play in another hardcore band, a straight hardcore band called Thieves. We've played for like 16, 17 years now together. You know, either no one came to see us, and if no one came, we still went all out. We toured a lot, so everyone that came to see us, like, we were very energetic. So a lot of people would talk about our energy and how we're insane on stage, and then like super nice, which I think goes far for being in a band. You can't just go up there, play, and then if you're awesome and you think you're awesome, you can't be that guy. Like, you can't. You're never good. You're never too good to say hi to somebody or make a new fan. And people who act like that, who just play and then go back to the green room, I don't like that at all. But I'm also old, and that pisses me off. So
you're exactly correct, no question.
You were pissed off when you were young, Greg. Don't lie.
I'm pissed off all the time. But I just especially now, like I said, like when you hear something. Hearing the band, like, you know, we haven't played like this new stuff out, so I worry that if we don't practice it enough, like when we play it and it sounds like shit, like there's no coming back from that. Like, you have to be comfortable, and you have to be good and sound good and have that energy that make people want to come see you. And even if you don't get 1,000 views on the internet, like that's not how it was back when I was younger, or when most of us were younger. You would just go see a band because it was Friday, it was $5. I'm gonna go see what the band is, and not even knowing bands, going to see those bands, and those are bands you fall in love with when there's no one there. And then now you see them, and they're playing, you know, packed festivals and packed stadium tours and stuff like that. When you saw them when it was in, you know, Jim Bob's basement for, you know, $5 to drink out of the keg, and it was the best time.
Yeah. It's true, because it's the same with Biffy Clyro, like we were saying about that. It's true, because I remember them playing like small venues in Kilmarnock, and then they just blew up. And And it wasn't even that long ago that they've actually blown up that to the sort of level that they're at now. Because it wasn't like, I don't know if it was the same in the US, but here in the UK, like a lot of people didn't even know who they were. And then it's just, I don't know, good fortune or luck or.
No one knows who they are in America.
You know what? I was pretty surprised. I forget what the song was, but it was probably a Beatles song. But I think like a bunch of artists came together when COVID first happened, and they made a song together, and they all sang. And actually, Simon, the lead singer of Biffy, actually got a piece of that song. He got like 10 seconds in it. And I was like, what? I was like, how did he make this? This was literally like the biggest artist I've seen, and then all of a sudden they threw him in there. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Oh yeah, that was with Dave Grohl and
yeah,
like a bunch of singers too. Yeah.
Oh wow, I need to have a look at that. I don't think I know what that is, so I don't think I've seen that.
It was cool.
I think it was Times Like These by Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. It was a Foo Fighters song. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's correct.
But like you were saying, I know exactly. I mean, I remember seeing Chevelle at like a little like corner club in high school, and they weren't big at all yet. And I'm like, this band is awesome. Like, and I remember they were giving away cassette tapes at the show of like their first like album. Like, this band's great. And then a few years later, they're like the biggest band for a while.
Weird how things can change so quickly, isn't it though? So like you can go from doing like small shows to like in a couple of years you could be doing something massive. So it's quite an interesting journey to watch. I'm quite fascinated with that part of like music and stuff now, seeing somebody go from just doing their thing like everybody, like all the other bands, you know what I mean, and then just seeing them progress to where they're at. And it's also nice when you see that they've done that and they're still nice people. That's what you were saying earlier, because you get some that are just like, what is your problem? You don't need to be like that. So I've seen a few. No, like one person I seen that was awful. I think it was just because it was a festival, was Marilyn Manson. But you could tell he did not want to be there. It's just like, the people have come, they're actually like people there singing along, watching you play, and you just like really couldn't give a shit, to be honest. Shouldn't really say that. But it's true though. It disappointed me because I was always a big Marilyn Manson fan growing up. And it's like, it's true.
Take it for granted.
I was listening to him like an hour ago. Getting the Christmas tree with Marilyn Manson playing in the house.
There's nothing more festive.
Yeah, exactly.
We used to have a venue here in Chicago called the Fireside Bowl. I know the guys in the band have been there before, but it used to be a small little it was a bowling alley that they didn't bowl at. All the lanes were there, that they fenced them off, and the venue was just maybe like 10 lanes of like just the spot where the balls would be, and that was the venue. And it was no tickets. You just show up there on a whatever day it would happen. I've seen Thrice there with probably 50 people. Coheed and Cambria there. Converge, American Nightmare, Dashboard Confessional played there, and it was just a handful of people, and no one was there. And then now you see, like Coheed playing the giant stage at an outdoor venue, and like that guy was on a stage this high that you're this close to his face, and there's no green room, so like when he was done, he picked up his guitar and his amp and he went to his merch table, and that's where they sat, and you got to talk to those guys for like 2 hours of the night. And those guys no one ever went and hid in their van or went to the green room. Like, just seeing like stuff like that. Now you see those bands, like I'm like, damn, like those guys are playing 10,000 seat stadiums, and I stood this close to that guy like 20 years ago. Like, it's crazy.
They're some of the best gigs though, aren't they? When you're right there in the action.
Yeah. Screw tall stages. If it's not close, it's not intimate. I don't think that's really a show. If you have to stay in your seat or you have to sit, like that's the worst too.
Well, I especially like gigs like that because I'm only 5'1", so if I'm at a concert,
and you always get stuck in front of the tall guy, I'm sure, or behind this tall guy.
Quite vicious for somebody who's 5'1", so I'll just throw the elbows like, move.
Scottie bites too, yeah.
I'm also old. I'm also old now. So if I go to a venue and there's not a space that I could sit like away, I don't go because I'm too old. I can't stand there for 4 hours and have little kids knock into me. I'm too old. I got to sit down and rest my old body. So if there's not a table and a seat, I could belly up and have a beer and watch. Then, but I'm also the guy who's sitting in the seat, pounding the table like a psycho person, screaming every word. So,
did anybody see how the Flaming Lips are doing concerts now?
I saw like everybody's in a bubble, like how they always have those bubbles.
In their own bubble.
Yeah.
And so are the fans.
Oh,
like, I
man.
know, like, do you bring your own like inflator? Like, here you go.
Are they the ones that you can like battle each other? So it's just like a mosh pit, like balloons.
It's like it's like a full
against each other.
Bubble boy.
That would be.
Like a hamster?
Yeah, it is the wildest thing.
Oh no, that's not my cup of tea.
I know Bush was doing drive-in shows. I don't really like that either.
No.
There's a lot of bands.
Drive in and watch a concert.
Yeah.
They just had a Jay and Silent Bob did like stand up at the movie theater, the outdoor movie theater over by me. They also had Stained and the guy from damn it, what's his name? Aaron Lewis and what's his name? Scottie from what's that other damn it, I can't think of the name. Another terrible rock band. That's I'm not going to shit talk it because whatever, they get to do that. I don't have to stay in my basement, so whatever, good for them.
I'm a huge Jay and Silent Bob fan. I love Kevin Smith.
Yeah, he's cool.
I didn't know they were in the area, and I didn't know they were in the area, and I missed that. Damn.
Yeah, they played. The McHenry Outdoor did a bunch of stuff. They had movies,
man.
they did comedy stuff. There was a couple bigger name ones that went there, but I that one stuck out in my head. But I seen a bunch of other things that were going on since we got a little bit of an extended fall. It wasn't negative
That's
10 in
true.
October, so they did a little bit more stuff up there.
I got to look into that. Okay. Scottie, actually, if I can jump in, we had a question come in from Anna that I definitely wanted to throw out there. I think this is a great question. What do you guys hope that your fans take away from your music? I just think that was a great question. I wanted to throw that out to you.
I think you always just hope that the songs elicit the same feeling that it does for you after you write it. Like when we write a song and it feels good for us, it feels perfect in your ear, you hope that when a complete stranger listens to it, they kind of feel that same thing. Or on the same token, like their own unique feeling from it, their own meaning from the lyrics, or emotion from the sound of the song or songs.
I think just the feel. I mean, I always know my favorite song, like when you're listening to it and all of a sudden you get the goosebumps. Like that's really all I want. I want to be like make songs that just give people that like, whoa, like what's happening? Because sometimes like it happens, there's so many times where our favorite album you might not like the first time you hear it, and then you listen to it over and over again. Like every song kind of gives you like the chills, like
yeah,
just to create songs that make people feel good. And like Brian said, just like if you have some connection to the lyrics, I think it's always a plus.
Yeah, I hope that people like hear it, they connect with it, and it moves them enough where they show somebody else and somebody else enjoys it.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to, but I hope that with something that we write, even if you don't like the lyrical content, if you like a guitar part and that can bring you back and maybe like you dissect that song more and get into it, and it does something to you either emotionally or mentally, or makes you forget about something else that's happening, is what I would hope that people would take from it.
Yeah, definitely. Because
For me,
oh sorry, no, continue.
You're good. Go ahead.
Say like Brian sent me the Wave, I think it was, and I've sent it to Jess and Charles and a few other people that are on here. I'm like, listen to this. So I'll share that one between some people, and I really like that song. Like I'm terrible. I've listened to it like 12 times or something, and just like I've not really heard. I've listened to the other stuff, but that's the one I keep going back to. I'm like, I want to listen to that one again. I'm terrible though. I can't. I can't leave it alone. So I'll listen to that one. So
see that with me when I hope everyone likes their songs, obviously, but I try actually not to think about that aspect of it, especially when you're during making a song, because I don't want anything to be, not us, not our thoughts. So it's more of like, I hope everyone likes it, obviously, but to me, I actually try to block that part of it out. I don't want to think about that, because during the writing part of it, that could sway certain things, and I don't ever want that to become part of what happens in our writing process.
Yeah, it's understandable. It is just a fab song. I just really enjoyed it, and it was the best one to introduce me to as well. I have to say, a good choice there to send that one.
Thank you.
Hey, Beth.
Oh. Anna's put, keep doing what you're doing. Love all the songs. Wave is clearly my favorite. So yeah, I'm not on my own with that one, I don't think.
It has the most views, so I'm guessing that's universal.
It sounds like a Thrice song. That's why I think everyone likes it.
Cha-ching.
Interview brought to you by Thrice.
Pretty much. You can only imagine how much that topic gets brought up at a weekly or in any conversation or anything that we talk about. So it's like, that's one of our major influences that it's very hard for all of us to break away from.
I'm expecting a cease and desist letter, like anytime. Just be like, can you guys stop mentioning us? Like, who are you people?
Yeah, that's the next question. It's like, what questions do you get asked the most, like from fans and stuff? Like, what is the one question that you always get asked without fail?
Yeah, who's your favorite band?
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah. It's probably is what.
Good thing we know that answer now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they're permanent now.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of people the only way I can judge it is via YouTube. There's views and comments and things like that. But it sounds like, most people are just like, who are these people? Like, it sounds good. Who are they? Where are they from? Because there's really nothing else. Or we have other media stuff, I guess, but there's just not much out there on our history and more music. We actually have another album out, probably 20 years ago, almost 18 years ago. I'm not sure exactly, but
yeah, I think it was like 2001. I think it was maybe.
There's like 8 or 9 songs on it. There's a couple on the YouTube, some Throwback Thursdays you could check out. But I'm sure there'll be some more. But we are trying to write. We try to get together as much as possible. I mean, we're all busy. We have jobs. We all have family and things like that. So it's hard to do that. But hopefully there will be some new music out 2021. Not too late in the year.
Fingers crossed. Definitely. Charles, did you want to ask some of your questions?
Well, we figured since you guys are Chicago-based, we may as well go ahead and ask a couple of Chicago questions. So we got to go with a couple of things since it obviously is Chicago and there's obviously fantastic venues available to you, favorite venue locations in the Chicago area, and then favorite venues outside Chicago you guys like to perform in.
Ooh.
I always loved going to the Metro. Metro is always one that I enjoyed.
I'll second that. Absolutely.
I'd say the Metro.
House of Blues is a cool one to see a concert. Congress has that kind of cool vibe too.
What's that one in Wisconsin? The
Rave.
Alpine.
The Rave. Yeah, that one. The Rave is great.
Rave's cool. Rave's great because it's 3 different venues in one.
Yeah, that one's sweet.
There'll be 3 different concerts going on at one time, which is just, it's like an indoor festival.
Yeah, it's cool.
The Fireside when it was around was the main place that made me want to do anything music related. Currently, we've played a lot of my other bands have played in B Kitchen's always a great time. Sub T is awesome. Anybody who will let us play in a basement, they're awesome too, because
basement.
the way basement shows are just outstanding.
Like you guys have said many times, the small venues are always some of the best ones.
Oh yeah.
It's easier too for bands who are not, who haven't played out. Like it's easier for you to get onto a bill at a smaller place. So like I was luckily able to be able to play on the Metro stage once in my life, which was amazing. But if you're not an established band or you do not know people in the industry or people in other big bands, it's very hard for you to be like, hey, check out my EP and let me play on your stage. I'll promise I might bring 3 people on a Tuesday, which no one is driving to the city of Chicago on a Tuesday, pre-pandemic, to sit in an hour and a half traffic to see your shitty band. I hate to break it to all of us, but no one's gonna do that.
You're right, that's for sure.
Funny, a few months ago, my brother called me up. He's like, hey man, I was talking to the owner of this place downtown Wrigleyville. He's like, you guys can play on Friday. You guys ready? I'm like, dude, it's Tuesday. We're in the middle of a pandemic. No. Like, he wants to do, like, he wants to play in 2 days and you can't even have more than 10 people in a bar. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, we're half.
We have 10 minutes of music. 10 minutes of music. So we're just gonna have banter in between every song for 10 minutes to fill a 45-minute slot.
Freestyle.
That's true. We keep working on that rap battle album.
There you go. Okay, now we come to the really important questions. Lou Malnati's or Giordano's?
Blues.
Giordano's.
E.
Okay. Gene and
Giordano's.
Okay. Gene and Jude's or Portillo's?
Portillo's.
Gene and Jude.
Okay.
Gene and Jude's it's been flooded 12 times. That can't be healthy.
Now, what do you think is in their hot dog water? Come on.
That's where they get the flavor from. That's where they get the flavor.
That's what I always thought too, actually. Yeah. Foles or Trubisky?
Neither.
Both garbage.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman.
Thank you.
Kyle
Okay.
Orton.
The defense.
Orton, thank you. Wow, haven't heard that name in forever. Okay. Well, I was going to ask this question, but then I actually looked at Bill's picture. I already know the answer. I was going to say Cubs versus Sox.
He's the only one on the dark side.
Oh, really?
He's the only...
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm fine for either. I like the Cubs, but I'm not like the Sox guys who just like to talk down to you all the time. But if the Sox go to the playoffs, I'm happy. It's a Chicago team in the playoffs. That's fine with me.
I got to go that way too, Greg. Actually, I'm a Chicago fan when it comes to baseball. My grandfather was the coach of U of I Chicago Circle for 20-something years. Les Miller Field is actually named after him. So I grew up with baseball stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I grew up with Cubs story and Sox stories and college stories of baseball. So by the time I got even into junior high, I was baseballed out. So I'm just like, I'm a Chicago fan when it comes to baseball. Now, when it comes to Blackhawks and Bears, stay out of my way. If you're from Green Bay, don't even talk to me. So yeah.
And we got a night game tomorrow, which is nice.
Yeah, and with Trubisky starting, they're actually giving us a fair shot at winning. I'm actually confused by that. So
Wow.
we'll
find a way to mess that up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So okay, that was all I had, Scotty. So back to you, boss.
Oh, I was like, are you? I'm just out there going. Oh, the sound's gone a bit funny.
I think it's fine.
Oh, I can hear again. Sorry, it was just. Did you have any more, Jeff?
Yeah, I only had one more. So from my deep dive on the internet, trying to find information on you guys. So supposedly, SLT stands for spinal lip therapy. At one point, you guys just go by the initials. Are you guys open to suggestions on what the initials should stand for now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have a giant thread of a billion names that we probably all threw out, and we still just don't know what to name ourselves.
Well, I threw it out to my friend group out here. They are a hive mind of dirty people. And I was just curious what they would come up with, and they
Jesus.
They didn't disappoint me.
But they don't, do they?
Oh boy.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
These are gonna be good.
I was like, there's no children on this.
No,
Are
I
your
don't
kids
think
asleep?
so. Apart from Rin, but that's fine. She's heard worse from me, so go for it.
I've said worse things in front of Ren before. That's fine.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, so
Or
some
this.
of the internet came up with. Let's see.
I can't wait to hear it.
Swollen lip treatment.
That's pretty close already.
Right? I was like, that's pretty close.
Okay.
Salt licking turtles. Super large trucks.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, going on. Super large titties. That was a popular one. Sarah's love train. And then, I'm so sorry, Scottie.
Oh no!
Silly little twats. That was another one that came up.
That's a good one. That's like a super like punky band. I like that one.
I like
That's a good like female fronted angry band.
Wait till you hear the next one.
Oh,
Scissoring lesbian triangle.
Ding, 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 ding.
that's the one.
that's it. That's the new name. Left for the new EP.
Oh God.
Who's doing the album art for that one?
Here it is.
Yeah, we've definitely been struggling with questions.
I'm sorry.
For some weird reason, I also have scissors next to me.
You do.
This is my classroom. I should have scissors.
So when
Anna made the suggestion in chat to go ahead and make this a fan contest for you.
Here you go.
Hey.
That is
So-
a scissors.
Our best plan so far has been to make people, when they ask us what the name of the band is, to make them to start to guess, and then they'll throw out some SLT initial thing, and we'll be like something like that, and we'll just kind of see how, if it goes over their head or not. And that's the best we've come up with so far, but it's not definite, that's for sure. It's actually probably not.
I do have to say, knowing some of Jessica's friends though, I'm surprised none of them came up with super large testicles.
Oh,
from the first testicle of it.
that's But was I correct? Was I correct on the band name? Was it therapy? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
We had this problem like 20 years ago when we were trying to make a band name. And then it kind of happened by accident. But it stuck. We were definitely stale therapy, and we just, everything we ever put out, there's not much merch, but most of it is SLT-ish. At least it sticks out that way. So that's how we labeled ourselves for this album.
We've tried to go away from it for 20 years and we still can't do it. So that's obviously a reason for that.
We're also not the same exact band we were, so we kind of thought it'd be cool to keep the initials, but tweak the name a little bit.
We've got plenty to pick from. Jess, I'm sure Jess's friends have with us. We should have like a competition. Like, yeah, Anna put that. She's like, that's a great fan contest to name the band. There you go. Although if you do put that out there, yeah, you're gonna get some interesting things.
Scissoring lesbian triangles.
That's the one. I think it's great, to be honest.
Grabber, that's for sure.
Great.
As soon as she went, I've asked my friends, went, oh no, oh no. I've met her friends. Oh Jesus, they're naughty. No, it was good fun though.
I think that's also like a big thing too. Like just a name. Like if I saw that name, I'd be like, "What is this band? Like, what is the sound of this? Like, I gotta hear it. Like, I gotta hear what it sounds like. Just the name like that, and then what your head would think and what it could be is probably I don't even know. I've seen bands that have crazy names, and you go, "Why would they name their band like that? It doesn't sound like that."
Yeah.
We found my fiance and I found this band online, and the only reason we started listening to it is because the name just drew us in. We were like, "Oh, what is this?" The name of the band was Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and they actually ended up being like this amazing. We just started listening to them. We're like, "Whoa!" Like they're kind of the instrumental post rock kind of feel to them. But I was like, "Who knew?" We just went strictly on how ridiculous their name was. We're like, "No."
That's the only reason I started listening to Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah, like that's a terrible band name that got radio play, successful as hell. Like just because of their name, probably.
I remember it was like 1995, and like I was trying to change the backdrop of like the computer, and I was like 10 years old. And I'm looking around like, Bare Naked Ladies, what is this? It took like 24 hours to come up with, and it was just the album cover. I was like, oh, sucks.
Alone doing that.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about this before, haven't we? When you used to go online and download music, and you'd have to wait like all night just for one bloody album. You're like, I hate my life.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I don't know if it's probably different for America, but in the UK, it was always harder to get more American bands because if they were not like massive in the States, you wouldn't really hear them. Especially like, God, I'm sure my late like mid to late 90s to 2000s. We're so old now. But that's how you used to get your music, to be honest. That's how I managed to find some stuff. And we're quite lucky now because we've got YouTube now, you can actually find other bands that you probably wouldn't hear, like especially not in the UK. Our music scene's a bit shit, to be honest. But and we don't get a good selection of stuff. So that's how you find new music. At least I do anyway. So
Right on.
I love it. I love that you could just start radios from any song. Like I use Google Play Music. Any song I like, I just put start radio, and it adds every song that's sort of like that. And I find myself finding new songs I've never heard of like every day, which is cool.
Yeah, same. Yeah, we like found older bands like Buckcherry and Hinder were doing things like that, and you didn't really hear from them, especially like back in like, what was it, like mid 2000s? You didn't really hear them over in the UK. So it's so much better now to get new music, especially like with social media and things like that. I think that really does help a lot of bands as well, especially like get more fans, especially like overseas as well. Because like if we didn't have any of this, I probably wouldn't have heard of you guys, to be fair.
Agreed.
And to be perfectly frank, I mean, one of the things I got to go ahead and mention is the only reason that Scottie, Jess, Beth, and myself, the only reason the four of us even know each other is because of a guy named Leo, Frog Leap Studios. He's out of Norway. He does metal covers of a variety of songs. So if you guys ever want to check it out on YouTube, Frog Leap Studios, fantastic musician, fantastic performer, very, very talented. If you haven't seen his stuff, check it out. He does covers of everything from frickin' WAP to Summer of '69 to Let It Go to Baby Shark to Wayward Sons to King House of the Rising Sun, Devil Went Down to Georgia, you name it. He's done metal covers of all those, and he's just exceptionally talented. And it's because the four of us are fans of his that we even met. And without the internet, we never would have found out about him and met each other to begin with. So yeah.
And that's it does bring people together, doesn't it? So it's quite amazing.
Yeah, between our first album and this album, there was some music in between, but we just never really recorded. But between our first album and our new album, it's definitely been different getting it out there. We literally had to buy CDs. That's mostly how we handed them out. I think there was a MySpace somewhere out there. That was like the first one.
It's still up.
And then
I'd have a look for
still
that.
up.
Like, do you remember
I can't
that?
imagine.
Mine's still out there, yeah.
Yeah, so is mine. So I probably shouldn't go hunting, to be honest. I'm like, oh Jesus. But that was the day. MySpace was actually brilliant for that, for finding out old, like newer bands and stuff, because it was so more accessible, wasn't it? Like you could have, everybody had their own little profile, and you'd have like your top songs and stuff, and it was amazing to have a look and see what other people were listening to. But yeah, definitely like internet's definitely changed the way music's shared.
I remember having to go like when we used to have a record store around here called Record Breakers, where they would have CDs, records everywhere, but you could listen to anything that was there before you bought it. So you could spend, I mean, I would religiously go there every day after school or every weekend and spend hours upon hours, like just looking at an album cover that looked awesome, saying, let me listen to this, listen to it, and either buying it or not buying it. But you could spend hours getting lost. Like that's how I used to find music, or just getting a record or getting a CD and just listening to it, reading all the liner notes, and then reading the thank yous and the other bands, and then just immediately going to like LimeWire and downloading 400 songs, and then going out and riding my bike for 6 hours, and then coming back and seeing that I have only 200 of the 400 to listen to, and then just go down that web of listening to those bands, and then show your friend, show your roommates, like, listen to this band was on this record. And that's how we always did it before like the internet, like that you could just give it to your friend right there. So I mean, I guess I'm also old, I don't know how to use the internet. I had a picture of
your Discman like this, so it wouldn't skip.
Oh yeah, then you got the shock one. You had the shock one too before MP3. So you got like the vibrator. You got the big CD that had like the anti-vibrate, so you could go ride with that, and it still sucked, but you did it anyway. Or you had to take your CD and then make it in, and then take your CD and then make a tape of that so you could put it in your Walkman, because the Walkman didn't skip, and then you could go ride without skipping. But then you had to stop and flip the tape over so you could listen to the other side.
That was good times. That was. We're so spoiled. But yeah, or listening to like the radio and waiting for your songs. You'd have it on record and pause, and you're like, oh, this one, and then somebody would talk through the end of it, and you're like, you ruined it. I've waited 6 hours.
2 days to get Dragulate by Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
It's like, just play it.
Just do it. Yeah. Do you know how many times I've like threw a fit because it's not, or it's you're recording it on your tape, and then it halfway through the song it's like stops, and you're like, ah!
Oh yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's when you just said, all right, this wasn't meant to be. I guess I can't listen to this song anymore. Or you just get mad, and then you just get mad, and then you just break the tape and go, we'll start again tomorrow. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Kids today will never understand the pain of making a mixtape.
Oh,
it was tough.
Because then you would have to write down like how long each song was, and then have to do math to fit them on the 30-minute side tape. And then you're like, man, well, that song's 10 seconds too long, so I can't put that on there. Then you have to go through your whole other collection to try to find a song that's 2 minutes and 9 seconds, not 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So it was a painful process. So if you ever got a mixtape, like, that's a hard thing to do. Instead of just like clicking and dragging songs to a playlist to send to somebody, like, you had to sit down and make that. Like, that was dedication. Like, if you got a playlist from somebody, like a mixtape.
Yeah, you knew it meant a lot when they gave you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 months. Here you go.
Not even for like girlfriends. Like, even if like you gave a dude like, yo, dude, check out these songs. Like, check this out. Like, you just gave another dude like a mixtape of like songs that were cool that you liked.
Yeah, we used to do that all.
Then you wrote like the love songs, like the One Little Heart, like, love you, babe, check this out.
Definitely, I have a few of those still.
Yeah. You're like, so ridiculous. Can I ask a weird question? Well, not a weird question. Can I ask a personal question? What age are you guys? Like, what sort of age group? Because you sound like you're roughly my age. I've just offended everybody now. Sorry.
That's right. We're old.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually just turned 40 last month, so I'm 40 years old.
I was kind of right. I'm 38, so it's not too bad.
All right, cool. I was waiting for someone to tell me they're like 22, and I'm like, God damn, it's like far off.
I think everybody on here, I mean, apart from obviously Anna, because I don't know her, but everybody else, I think we're all in our 30s. So sorry, guys, I'm just.
Yeah. I think Bill's the youngest, and he's what, 34?
35.
35. So I'm 36. Vincent, what, you're 35, right?
35, yeah.
Yep. So we're all mid.
As usual, I'm the old man of the group. I'm 45, so yeah.
So
There,
35.
Anna said she's in her 30s as well. So yeah, we're all in the same age group.
We all remember the days of mixtapes.
Yeah, I grew up.
Good. I was hoping when I was speaking, like I wasn't sounding too old. Be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Mixtape? What is that? What is a cassette tape? What is a VHS? Is this guy is this guy an alien? What the hell? I never heard of this.
I'm really showing our now though. But do you remember those? I can't remember what they were. Were they like mini discs? They were like in the little plastic. Oh, my friend had one. They didn't catch on. They were like after CDs, so they were tiny little square plastic things.
They were actually called mini discs. You're correct.
I couldn't remember that or that crap. Jesus. So,
There's all these videos of like online of teenagers now putting their phones in the cassette player of cars because they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They think it's a cell phone holder.
Yep.
Hurts.
Or they think it's an iPhone dock or something. Yeah.
Yes, I actually work in an office setting, and we have younger kids come in like in college during summer, and they didn't know how to hang up a phone. They didn't know what the hang up button was. They only knew the one on the iPhone, like the little red button. I'm like, no, you got to hang it up and then dial again. I was like, is this really going on? Is this where we're at? Oh man, I'm old.
Dude.
when you had the dial, where you had to like put your finger in and go. I've seen
rotary phones.
Yeah, I've seen people go, how the hell do you use this? It's like, so you want the first number, you go, there you go. Jesus. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with a cell phone now. I'm like, what do you do with this? How do you use this thing?
Yeah, I usually message my kids, how do I do this again? What do I do? I broke this, what do I do? Like, and they have to.
Or like when you had worked at like an office, like you have to dial 9 to dial out. Like if you told somebody that now, like somebody's head would explode. Like, what do you mean I have to dial 9 to dial out? Like, what does that mean? Like, what does it mean?
You want to dial outside this office, you must dial 9.
Dial 9 and then you dial the number. Like, why? Because that's I don't even know why that was a thing, but that was a thing. Like you have to dial 9 first and then dial the number to dial the phone call. Like, why?
They don't even know that.
I can see kids' heads exploded to that.
They ask them what a pound sign is. They don't know what a pound sign is. They think it's hashtag.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. Wow. That's crazy.
We're so old. Just like,
Old. Now erase it again and we'll all say we're in our 20s. Let's edit it out.
I'll edit that. It's so good.
I'm 24.
I just turned the blooper video. Don't worry. Yeah.
Can you guys buy me beer?
Forget about it. I'm 20. Fake ID says 24.
Matt, you could actually get away with it. You don't have the beard with the gray like I have. You're okay there. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll be bald before I can shave.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's even worse when somebody goes, is that your dad? And you're like, no, that's my friend and he's in my band.
I was on a Zoom call with one of my students not too long ago, and I bent over and like the wrinkles on my forehead went up there. She's like, "Are you okay? Did someone stab you?" Oh.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
So we've kind of like gone off topic, but it's good fun. We're quite laid back, aren't we, guys? So we just go with the flow.
Very much so.
Yeah. Because our last video can't even go on YouTube because it was that bad. So it's like,
It got really blue.
Really naughty.
Very much so. Well, it was a game of never play ever, and it just really got very, very naughty.
very quickly.
It did.
Came with a warning.
Of course, then again, the guys we were playing it with, they wanted it to get really naughty, so it wasn't our fault, really. So yeah.
So if you guys ever want to play.
Yeah. This is how we do the little introductory ones where it's all kind of nice, and then a couple of interviews down, and it's like, oh yeah, just goes a bit crazy. So do another one. If you get to 2001 and you want to do anything with about your new stuff and that, we're definitely up for that. If you want to do it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
we're all really excited about the new stuff. Really excited. We, we put out this 4-song, there's tons of other songs that we have. Putting out 4 songs is just so hard to do. I want to put out more songs, more of them.
I'll definitely be keeping an eye out and see what you're up to. And I think you've got a few new people that'll be keeping an eye on you as well. So, sorry, yeah.
And especially if you guys do anything in the area.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. We will let you know. Hopefully live music is real again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm in Wheaton, so getting to you guys will be really easy for me.
It's not fair, Charles.
We will definitely buy you a drink. Come on down.
Yeah.
Sausage.
And everybody else too, but maybe we'll get you a plane ticket if we can get back on stage.
Oh, awesome. Hold you up for that.
Bring all 8 kids.
Oh, no.
That'd be a heck of a mosh pit.
No. Well, to be fair, mine are all a bit woo, so yeah, probably would be.
We'd have a real wave going on.
Christ. She knows it's her own fault. If she comes on these, she's going to get talked about, so bless her heart. But she'd like to go. She'd have good fun, but I'm not bringing any of her. Mommy wants some time to herself. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Have we done all the questions? We got sidetracked and I don't even know no more. Are we done?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Thank you so much. It's really hard to get information on you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for having us on. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Been awesome.
And if you guys ever want to do something more, interact with others or your fans and have them like come on and ask questions too if you want to. We've done that in the past as well. So whatever you'd like to do, we're always game. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks.
Have a
guys.
good one.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.